to episode 34 of my knitting podcast. Welcome back if you are a returning viewer, and welcome if you're new. I hope you like the content. I'm from the Netherlands, so that's why my English isn't that good, but I hope you can forgive me that or see through all of that. And I hope you enjoy especially all the knitting things and the knitting inspiration that I would like to give you. Yeah, so it has been a long time since I recorded, but I haven't finished that much because I work a little bit more than before. So there's not that much knitting time anymore. But that's a pity, of course, but yeah, sometimes life happens. I wanted to discuss, of course, what I'm wearing. Most of the times I also talk about something that I crocheted, but today, and also some sewing, but today it's only knitting. And that's really something that I always do during the fall. I tend to actually go more to knitting than to other crafts. I don't know if you also recognize that you go to the things that you, go more easy. Yeah, for you. That's what you do then. So first thing, what I always tell is what I'm wearing. I'm wearing the Sanna Cardigan, and this is a pattern by Lievelings van Eve. She's a Dutch designer, and she made this last year, so a year ago, and it's a beautiful pattern. It's made bottom up. The yarn that I used was Jamison Spindrift, but that's actually the Shetland wool, but it's actually a little bit more thicker than the yarn that she recommended. But I got the gauge, so I thought it was okay. I continued with it, and I'm very happy with it. It's actually a cardigan that I wear a lot, and that I really enjoy wearing. It's of course more rustic yarn, so it's on the warmer days you cannot wear it because it's more itchy, but now with the colder days, with the fall coming, I'm enjoying every day, and it's such a beautiful warmth that wool can give you. What can I tell you more about this cardigan? I don't know on what needle size I was knitting this. If you are really curious and also about the colors, I will put a link down below in the show notes, so you can see on my Ravelry page. I took notes about that, and I think I made a size. I don't know the size anymore. I think an M, something like that, or a S. I don't know. Yeah. So, but it's a very nice, beautiful pattern. If you like it, check the Ravelry page. You can also see the link from the Lievelings van Eve, and then you come to the pattern. First things first, I finished 3 things, and they were one was quite large thing, and the other things I wanted to do for myself for a long time, because I finished 2 pair of socks, and I haven't had any socks finished for a long time, so I just wanted to have socks for myself this winter. It was a good start for the fall and winter. And so I made these 2. I used the meilenweit, Lana Grossa meilenweit, and it's a yarn with 150 grams for 15 meters. So I had to knit it on a 3.0 needle, and I have a large foot size, so I have a size 42 in European size. I don't know how much that is in US, so I cast it on 14 stitches and knitted 76 rows before starting with the heel, and then I just finished up the yarn. So I at the beginning I divided the yarn from 150 grams into 2 balls of 75, so I could just knit them up. I already wore them, so that's why they're a little bit, fluffy and stretched. but they're so nice and so warm. I only use them for indoors, but I'm very, very happy with them. Very nice. And the heel that I use is the Shadow Wrap Short Row heel from Earth Tones Girl. If you search it up on the YouTube, she has a very, very good instruction video. Then I finished my sweet shop blanket from, what's her name again? Laura Penrose. So I'm very happy with it, and the children are also very, very happy with it. What can I tell you? Yeah, last episode I remember I told a lot about it, so I won't do too much about it. So I knitted it up on a 4.0mm needle. I used alpaca heather from Manos de Uruguay for this color, and this color, which was gifted to me by Edna. Very kindly gifted. I was very happy with that. I used also for the other colors Filcolana Pernilla, and the pattern is actually supposed to be for DK, so double weight DK, double knitted, right? So you can also hold 2 fingering strands of yarn together. So if you have any, an advent calendar or anything, you can also make this one. And I think it's also very nice for an advent calendar, yeah. And it's very warm. It's such a nice, really nice blanket. So actually the children use it a lot. And when I get the chance, I use it as well, if they're not using it. And yeah, so it's really a pattern that I can recommend. It's very addicting because you want to finish every time one square, and when it's finished you want to start with the other one, and then yeah, I don't know, it just happens, and before you know it you have a blanket. The only thing that is really not that nice, I thought it was, to get rid of all the strands of yarn, all the ends to weave in, that takes a long time. Yeah. But yeah, that's with knitting, that's just the case, I think, with everything. Then my second pair of socks, I will just start talking while putting them on the blocks, the sock blockers. This one, it's from a Dutch brand, Studio Spintel. They sell it. Very, very nice. It's not that cheap, but it's really something that lasts your whole lifetime. And I really like those kind of things. And I already have I got a lot of joy already out of it. And I also wore these socks as well, so they're also a little bit, how do you say that? Stretched? Yeah. Yeah, in Dutch we have in Dutch we say lubberig, uitgelubberd. Yeah, but so they're a little bit uitgelubberd. These socks, I used yarn from a shop in the Netherlands, Moe in Zeeland. So not New Zealand, but actually Old Zealand. She dyed it herself with onions. So it's a kind of rustic merino, and it's dyed with onions. So I was very, amazed about the color that onions give, and that you can make such beautiful socks with them. Yeah, so I don't know, I'm more amazed about the capacity of onion colors by onions. This was 410 meters, 420 meters for 100 grams. But still, I thought it was a little more thicker fingering weight yarn than usual, so I knitted it up on a 2.5mm needle, and I started it with 18 stitches with the Turkish cast on. Yeah, Turkish cast on, yeah. And then I increased until 52 stitches, but it was difficult, so I had to go back as well because I increased too many stitches. And then I always put them on and to see if it's the right size. Eventually, the first time I ever did that, it was very terrible and I made so much mistakes. But nowadays, you know how wide, because I knitted from toe to leg. And then you put them over your toes and you can, choose the right size. But so I still make mistakes and I have to go back again and start again. So 52 stitches, and I normally on other fingering weight yarns I knit like from toe until the start of the heel 100 rows, but now I used 76 rows and then did the shadow wrap short row heel from Earth Tones Girl again. And then I also divided these two strands of yarn. So I had 100 grams and divided them in two balls of 50 grams. And I wanted to knit the whole yarn empty up. Because I thought it was a little bit, I also have a northeasterly blanket, which I use for all my scrap yarns, but I thought it was a little bit too thick to fit in the other fingering weight yarn, so I thought that wouldn't look that nice. So I decided just to knit it totally up. So I did 160 rows from starting from the heel. So I have large legs now, but I thought as well, because for some reason I tend to make holes in the socks quite soon. And I thought that's a pity, so I wanted to make them a little bit longer as well, because if they get a hole and I cannot mend it or I don't want to mend it, I can make leg warmers of those. I can get some yarn from here, for example, and make a little, board, little hem. And then I have also leg warmers, so these can last a longer time than normal socks. Well, at least with me. And if you notice, I did different hems at each sock. That's really funny, right? I wasn't paying attention. So this is the 1x1 twisted rib, and this is a 2x2 normal rib. And then of course the extra stretchy bind off. I always do that. Yeah, really funny. Then I have 4 projects still to talk about. The first one I will talk a little bit more quicker because it's not that finished that much. But last year I made a hat. Well, I thought my children came home with my husband, but not yet. They're outside now playing. And then he said, then you have some time to record. So that's really nice. Now I have time to record. But last year, a friend of ours, he has Ouessant sheep. And they're like the oldest sheep in the Netherlands, I think. And they have really beautiful rustic yarn. And he always, threw away the yarn or the wool. And so I did some, I asked somebody in the Netherlands who could help me with to spin it and to make yarn out of it. And there was a kind lady from the Netherlands, from Rotterdam, Joke Klein, and she wanted to help me to spin the yarn and make skeins of it. And so she did, and last year I made a hat for the farmer, and he has a size S, and I made it with a sort of stranded work, so color work, because the yarn that I got was white. Together with this yarn, this is alpaca wool from Long Yarns. I wanted to make a pattern out of it. And I pushed it away in front of me and I just didn't do it. And now this year I actually want to make a pattern and finish it. So now I'm making a size M, at least I think I am. I still have to fit it, so maybe this is already a L. So our friend the farmer, he has size S, my husband has size medium, and I have a size large. So that's actually very nice. So if I knit still 2 hats for me and my husband, then I have a pattern. So this one will be finished in some time, but I don't know when. Then, oh yeah, this one. This one I keep in the jar that my grandfather made. He was really gifted working with wood, and so this is really, I say, a family heirloom nowadays, and I'm very happy with it. I always, always when you see those kind of things, and when I see this, of course, I think about him and how, I don't know, how creative he was with wood. Yeah, so that's very nice to see. This is the Sanna Cardigan from Bea. And yes, I'm very happy with this. It's of course a summer piece actually, or for the spring. But I was kind of late, but now I think, oh no, I'm really prepared for next spring. Because I'm already a long way, of course. Not halfway, but a long way. And this is a pattern by Bea from Rebecca Clove. And I'm knitting it in line from Sander's and on a 4.5mm needle. Let me just check. Yeah. And yeah, it's really gorgeous. I'm super happy with it. I'm making a size L again. Sorry, I had to sneeze. I, of course, edited that out. So that's why there was a little bit an interruption. But yeah, I really like the linen. The linen it's not 100% linen, so it's a mix with cotton, I think, and with silk. But yeah, it's so nice and drapey. And I also made another one, the love top leather in this yarn. And yeah, it's really nice. You call it yarn then? No, this natural fiber. And it's also nice with stranded work that eventually, of course, every round you have to check what do I have to do, but there is a memory going on. So these 2 were 2 repeats, and this one is now the 2nd repeat of this pattern. And yeah, I don't know. It's really nice to have some lace. It's very nice to have some lace that you can work on every now and then, because it's very nice, and I say it's so quickly so beautiful, I think. Yeah, very nice. So a really beautiful pattern by Rebecca. And then I just want to show you quickly, not too long, because I already talked about it the last episode. Because it's the Maema Cardigan by Pip and Pin. Pin and Pin, Pip and Pin, Pin and Pin. I don't know. I always mess her name up. It's really terrible, my name. Because it's such a beautiful pattern. So this is the cardigan. And it's with a say, half brioche. So a honeycomb, they call it also. It's very, very beautiful. And also with some stockinette. And I'm knitting it actually in a size L, but I stopped increasing on the size XS or S, because otherwise the armholes were a little bit too big. So yeah, I'm now decreasing a lot for the arms, but I think because I want to make it again, I think I will diminish it much more earlier when I make it again. that I stop more earlier with increasing for the arms, and for the body keep on increasing. I make it with a superwash yarn, so that I say makes it also, I think, a little bit not that nice with all the stitches, because you knit it up on a 3.5mm needle. Yeah, so maybe next time I will use also a smaller needle and just check when I want to separate for the sleeves. But that's for a later project. I'm very happy with this now, and I'm enjoying it as well. This beautiful, beautiful pattern from Pip and Pin, I think her name is. Then, last but not least, a whip that I'm very, very happy with. I was on, a very, very small yarn market in a small town in the Netherlands. And I talked to Elske, she's a Dutch podcaster as well. She only talks in Dutch, unfortunately. And Lise from Livia, she also has a podcast also in Dutch. Maybe you can see it and just, put some subtitles in, because they have very, very nice podcasts as well. But they were talking about a pattern from a book from Viola. I don't know if you know that, but it's a book with beautiful patterns, and also beautiful patterns on the website. So check the website as well. And so Elske said, I want to make that cardigan for the Knit to Pull to festival, which Sarah from It's a Sarah is organizing. And I got so excited, I wanted to make that pattern as well. And it's really funny because I tend to start around this time kind of fingering weight cardigans. And every time when I'm doing that, I think, Marleen, why aren't you going to start knit with some thicker yarn? But so after this, I'm going to knit more with a little bit more thicker yarn, so that my projects are finished more earlier. But anyway, so the pattern is knitted up on a 3.5mm needle with so it's not really fingering, but with Rama Fino. And this is it. And I recorded also in Dutch, and then I noticed, oh, it looks a lot like this cardigan. But not totally, of course. It's totally different, this one. Right? Sorry, my needles got hooked. But I think it's different. And I enjoy it so much. Look at that. I think it's so pretty, so nice, and so I'm so happy with it. So it's going to be the Agnes kofte. I don't know if you say kofte or kofte. Kofte. In Dutch we would say kofte, but I don't know. I think it's more kofte. It sounds more from Scandinavian countries. But what I want to talk about, I'm knitting it in a size L, but as always, I tend to, that L could also be a little bit too large then, and I thought about that again with this one, so I decided to do for the, the arm and the body to do an M size, and I think that's actually also how my body is shaped. That my shoulders are a little bit more broader, so that's also always an L, and that my body could also wear an M. Yeah, but it changes also. Every pattern is different. And then I just have to fit if I'm right, or that I really want to make a total L. But now I'm at the point that I can separate for the sleeves, so that's very nice. And I really enjoy the Rama Fino, it's so beautiful. I just want to show you also the inside, because I think it's really gorgeous. the Rauma had tended to, how you say, break. So I had to make some, how you say, attach the yarn in a knot again. But so beautiful the inside. Look at that, the pattern. I really love that about stranded color work. That the inside is as beautiful as the outside, and that you can almost wear it inside out. But of course we won't do that. And as you noticed, maybe I'm going to steek it again. So use the steeking method by using scissors, and of course first the sewing machine to do a zigzag here 2 times and knit and cut it in between. Yeah, so I'm very curious. But that's the Agnes kofte. I don't know. But that's it actually, what I wanted to talk to you about. What I wanted to tell you about. I hope you enjoyed, and I thank you so much for watching until the end. And also thank you so much for your lovely comments, and really nice. And if you like this video, of course you help me by putting a thumbs up and yeah, leaving a comment as well if you want to, of course. But I enjoy it so much. Yes, I'm going to the Knit to Pearl to festival. I don't know if I'm able to record before that, because it will be a busy month. We're also going on a holiday in the fall holidays, and yeah, so I'm not sure about that, but I wish you a lot of happiness with knitting, and be kind to yourself and also for your knitting, because yeah, it must give you some joy and some relaxation to knit. And I hope to see you next time. Have a nice day, have a nice evening, have a nice night, and bye! Doei doei!